Hey guys, how's it going? I want to talk to you about the type of training I do. I do what's called power bodybuilding, which is where I'm trying to get really strong, but I also want to look like I'm strong. So it's a little more difficult than trying to just get strong or just trying to get big. And I'm really up for the challenge anyways. But I'm going to explain kind of what I do weekly. I start out Mondays. I do my bench and chest workout. So my flat bench is really focused on getting stronger. Like I want to have a much better max, and I want to try to develop it in a powerlifting type of format. And then after I do my bench part, then I go on to do like incline presses and stuff, and decline presses, and then I do flies. That way I'm developing, the upper and lower part of my pecs. That way you give your chest that balance you want. And then on Tuesdays, I do my deadlifts first. And I mean, you're trying to get stronger in your deadlifts. It's not to build up, your back or your hamstrings. It's really just I'm trying to get stronger at it. I want to lift heavier weight. So I'll do that, and then I go on to do overhead presses the same day, because I'm really trying to get stronger at the overhead press, but I also want to work my delts, and that's a great way to do like a mass builder. So I go moderately heavy with the overhead press, and I do it standing in a power rack, and then I go on to do my upper back type lifts. I do a lot of different rows, and I do different angles with the rows, and really try to hit the lats. And then I finish up with I work the medial head of my delts, and then my rear delts, and then I do shrugs. And I go fairly heavy on shrugs. I try to usually get about 12 to 15 reps per set, but that's to failure. So that is considerably heavy, because you don't really need to be going much heavier than that, because they're such a small muscle group. They don't need super heavy weight. But yeah, the whole idea around that type of workout is I'm working on my deadlifts, but then I'm going to go ahead and build up my back and my traps and my shoulders. So on Tuesdays it does seem like it's a longer workout, because I'm trying to hit more muscles at once. But I just find that it works for me that way, because a lot of times I superset my back lifts with my shoulder lifts. That way I kind of save on time a little bit, and I don't need to come in and only do a shoulder workout or only do a back workout. I combine them. And then on Wednesdays, what I do is I do a core and conditioning workout, which a lot of people don't do. But for bodybuilders, they do their ab workouts either in the morning, or they do them during whatever workout they're doing. They just do small little things throughout the workout, which is fine. It's just I want to focus on each muscle group. That way I know I'm really hitting them really well. So I start out with some cardio, and once I got my temperature up and my heart rate going and stuff, I really start to burn more calories. And then I go and I do about a half hour of core targeting lifts to really hit my abs, my obliques, my love handles, and my lower back. And I isolate my lower back a lot more during that day instead of doing them on deadlifts. That way I'm able to do it safely, and I'm not going to fatigue myself too much throughout the week, so that way I can still do squats. And then on Thursday I do an arm day, and I know a lot of strength guys don't do an arm day, and a lot of bodybuilders live by doing arm days. And what guy doesn't want big arms? I do it more for balance. Like I want to be stronger, and I want nice size arms. So actually what I do is I do a lot of mass building on it. I'm not really trying to get a real high peak or anything, but I'm really trying to get stronger. So I actually do close grip bench press, which actually helps my bench press for Monday, but I'm already healed up because it's already Thursday. So I have all that time in between to recover. That way I'm not hitting the bench press too often. But I do close grip. That way it really forces my triceps to work a lot more, and I'm putting up really heavy weight. So that way I'm actually getting stronger. My lockouts are getting stronger, so it helps with the lockout of the bench press. So it's kind of a win-win right there. And then I try to do moderate weight and moderate reps with biceps. Really try to get them stronger. That way, like any back movements you use your biceps. And you want them to look fairly nice. So it's a bit of strength and a bit of pump work on an arm day. But I feel that it's necessary because I want, that balance. I want to look like I lift weights, you know what I mean? But I also want the strength. And then on Fridays is, the intimidating leg day. And I actually do have a leg day. A lot of guys skip legs. Like physique competitors, they wear shorts, so they don't have to do a leg day. I do, and there's many reasons why I do a leg day. But I first start out with squats, and I go heavy on squats. You go, parallel into power rack. I'm doing real squats. I'm not doing partial squats. I'm doing real squats. I'm going heavy. And a lot of guys don't really go that heavy, or they don't go all the way down. So it's kind of an ongoing battle. And then after that, it really depends on what week, because my whole program is around strength with the assistance, building up the size of each muscle. So if it's a really, really heavy week, normally my assistant lifts are a little bit lighter and with higher reps. That way I'm kind of balancing it. So the heavier I get on my main lifts, the lighter I get on my assistant lifts. That way I'm not overloading only on the heavy part of it, or I'm not overloading on the lighter part of it. You try to balance the two together. Kind of the yin and yang. You want the opposites to help build each other up. So if I'm going really heavy on squats, then if I do leg presses, I go a little bit lighter, but I'm really trying to force more reps out, and I'm doing that to failure too. And then I'll do my leg curls, and I don't really do leg extensions because my quads usually are pretty fried from the compound leg press and the squats, so I really don't need to do leg extensions because I'm not a bodybuilder, so I don't need that perfect teardrop. And then with leg curls, I'm really trying to develop the strength out of that, so it helps with my deadlifts. You know what I'm saying? So by doing my assistant lifts on different days instead of how traditional powerlifters do, like their deadlifts and then they do their hamstring work, because they're really just trying to build up that one lift, I'm trying to build up the muscles with the strength. So each workout I have it designed to where I'll recover, but I'll also build up the lifts at the same time and build up the muscles. And it's a really hard way to train, because you need to be focusing on one, because like either you're bulking or you're cutting and your strength goes up and down. It's hard to keep getting stronger, while getting more ripped. So right now I'm focusing more on trying to put on more weight and more muscle, because that's what I want, and I want to get stronger. So this is the way I usually do it. And the reason why I take off the whole weekend is because like your central nervous system, is usually fried from pushing it so hard that whole week, because I do a lot of sets to failure, and I really try to kill it, within an hour of every workout. I only train for an hour each day, and I do warm-ups and everything. So yeah, normally it only takes me about an hour and 15, hour and a half, in the gym, in and out, and I take off the weekends. That way, like mentally I can recover, and physically I can recover, because after squats, it takes me all weekend for my legs to recover. It sucks. But yeah, I want to be able to have, a little bit of fun. We go out, if we're going to go to the movies, bowling, shopping, just, taking it easy, whatever, playing around. You want to have that. That way, like, you keep your morale up, while you're still, working really hard at the gym. You need to really balance the two. And this for me, I found it has worked. And I've been doing this for years. I've been doing a 5-day split, and then the weekends off. And the weekends are completely off. No work, no gym, just morale boosters. And that's why I really notice it works for me. And it doesn't work for everybody. I know it doesn't. Like some people, it's too much. Some people don't want to do arm days. They don't want to do 5 days straight. So it's whatever works for you, and you need to find out what works for you. And once you do, then that's when you need to start to write things down and capitalize on the gains you're making. And then if you know that stuff isn't working, just switch the things that aren't working. Don't switch everything out. You have to experiment and find out what works. And once you do, that's when you're going to get real results. But you have to work for it.